We discussed so far the social equity and cohesion dimension, the promising model on a system level, and what basically could be the role of the designer in general terms. And we saw even that there are some criteria that may guide the designer towards that helps the designer to address the solution towards those that are effectively socio-ethically beneficial. And these criteria were to improve employment and working condition, and those that you see here. So now we will go through some of those with some guidelines, but with some example as before. So I take the first one, employment and improve employment and working condition. As I told you before here, frankly speaking, the designer has not that much to do. And in fact, what I can show to you is a couple of example of reporting initiative in relation to working condition, good working condition that are available and that maybe a designer should be aware of, so to introduce within the company. And the first one is the Global Reporting Initiative. This is actually coming out from an initiative of the UNEP, the United Nations Environmental Programme, though it's an independent organization, and is helping company to make a sustainable reporting about their activity, especially in relation to the working condition of both the people within the company and the people upstream and downstream. And okay, there are some guidelines, and this is the key product that is coming out from a multi-stakeholder process. So they are involving different experts, and they are upgrading while and while this guideline to help achieve company institution to make a report to show that they are behaving well in relation to working conditions. Of course, they have to do that, and if they are not doing this, they have to reorganize their company in order to be able to present a report, because in fact they are even doing some auditing activity in relation to this. Another important tool is called the Sustainability Accountability SA8000 certification. Actually, it was the first certification that any company or institution can was the firstly issued that the company can try to get. For example, some company like Adidas, like other, are having those type of certification, and of course, even in this case, is related to mainly to checking and ensuring the working condition of the person in all the supply chain. You know, many times, company will say, "Oh yes, like Adidas, and we are behaving very well," but then they don't know exactly what else was happening, maybe in a factory lost in Cambodia, and they know, but we don't know exactly. But this is not acceptable, or it is not acceptable when you try to have a reporting in relation to this. So it has to take into consideration all the supply chain, and they are making auditing. So they are not supporting in making the report, but they are making even auditing in the company and in the facility along the whole supply chain. And okay, there is some, not that much here. Improve equity and justice in relation to stakeholder. So here, let me show you some example. This is altro mercato. Maybe those from Italy knows altro mercato. Is there someone from Italy that knows? Do you know altro mercato? No? They are. It has been established some years ago, so some decades ago. Nevertheless, for fair trade means that whatever they buy, they check that the suppliers and sub-supplier are well paid and they are fairly treated. So everything that is sold in their shops, they are called botteghe del mondo. You can see here, even in Milan, there are some botteghe del mondo. And all the product, whether they are food or clothes or jewelry or whatever, they are checked, and you are sure that if you are buying this, those that have been working to do those has been the working condition were good. Actually, you can find those even in supermarket, even though there was kind of a conflict into this organization because they said, no, we don't want to make the supermarket to sell those products. What about if they sell? You can see that maybe you go in a supermarket and you see a package of coffee, which is fair trade, with the label fair trade, and close to that you have a non-fair trade coffee. So you are sure that this coffee is has been not treating well person cultivating, producing the coffee, and so on. And so many people very committed within the organization were against having those into the supermarket. But then the battle was won by the others, saying the potential of supermarket is so strong that in terms of diffusion compared to what we can do, and so. But nevertheless, it's a discussion there in the air, just for you to be aware about this. So here a few images. This is the identity, the logo of Altro Mercato, and so on. This is the website. Related to this, it's good to be aware that there are some label, or better still, organization that can label some product to be fair trade. And there are two main, and one is this one. Maybe you saw on some product. Have you ever seen this label? This is coming from an independent organization that is giving some rule to have the label, that is monitoring and auditing this. I think I have some example of product onto which you can find this label. If you go in a supermarket, for sure you will find a coffee with this. If not, with another that I showed you in a while, which is somehow competing, because even in fair trade and labeling they are competing. This is another label, fair trade organization. Is the label that is used by Alto Mercato, by the way. It was a decision taken in a social forum in Mumbai, in India. There's someone from India here. Yes. And you know that in 2004, maybe you remember, there was a social forum of young people very much involved in socio-ethical issue, and they were saying that maybe the other label was too much in the hand of the big company or something that so they want to have something even more radical and more independent or something like this. Nevertheless, they are. I don't express um, here a judgment. I just want you to be aware that these are two. But for example, if you go to a shop and you find a coffee that maybe doesn't cost that much more, and you know that this is a fair trade label, why not to buy it? I cannot buy any more coffee that is not fair trade. And really, when you go to the supermarket, you find this, and close to that, another one that say basically we have abuse of person cultivating the coffee and so on, or chocolate. For me, it's something that it's really absurd. And so, since we have the possibility to choose, but said this, that is on the side of the consumer, this is they are organizing this as a system, so they check and they have it shop. So it's a product service system with different actors and stakeholders, and they have well organized this system. It's the first in Italy and the second worldwide organization doing this. Alto mercato. Here I have another example to promote and enhance equal and just relation affecting the community where the offer takes place. So this is an example coming from Finland. There is someone from Finland, Turku. We are in Turku, the former capital of Finland. Actually, here they are involving unemployed people to repair broken product. Many times they are bicycle or other product, and they sell back. They have shops and they sell back this product to the community. So this is good for the unemployed people, but it's good even for the same community because it reduces waste on one side, but of course the employment of people create a better cohesion in the society and more secure condition and so on. See if I have some picture. Okay, here they are. Bicycle is the most used object. Enable, I go to a next one. Enable responsible and sustainable consumption. And here, as I said, we have different type of, different level of involvement of the user into the product service system. I show you a first example in which or the guidelines said provide information and or learning experiences to educate the client or end user on responsible sustainable behavior. So give information or teach how to behave. And here we are in the UK. This is a organic dairy farm working on biodiversity, and they organize experiences, courses. So they invite people. You can visit. You can see how they are doing, producing what they produce, and you can actually learn and even eat an ice cream, because their specialty is organic ice cream from UK. I don't say, because I'm from Italy, and we from Italy think that the best ice cream are from here, but of course I have to go to taste that ice cream before saying anything. Okay, but we can involve a bit more the final user. So we can develop offers that enable responsible participation of the user. I show you one example. This is called plus BC, that in Italian is più bici. Bici, it means bicycle, so the acronym sounds like bicycle, so in English doesn't work so nice, but nevertheless it's there are volunteer passionate of biking that want to improve this and do it in as a volunteer most of the time. And what actually they are offering, they are hiring second-hand bicycle. In this case, they're even having some money out of that. They are giving courses on how to repair bicycle. They are making creative workshop. They are dealing even multimodality system. For example, they are close to the underground in San Donato. San Donato is in the southern part of Italy. They are having and they are dealing a parking place for hiring bicycles, so that you can come with the metro and then take the bicycle, so that you can easily avoid to take the car. But sometimes the multimodality, so to change from one to the other, which are both sustainable, it's good, and they are doing this. They have a very nice van with which they are going around to repair bicycle and make workshop. Okay, but you can involve even more the client or the end user in developing, in doing something which is sustainable PSS. Here an example of this is Tattle Group in Italy. They teach on how to design and implement solar panel for thermal solar panels, so for heating the water, not to produce electricity. So you learn, you design it for your house, and you are able then to install it. They help you to purchase the different material you need, the semi-finished product or the product, so they make collective purchasing to reduce the cost and so on. So in this case, end user is even more involved. In England, they are doing even more. You know, in the northern part of Europe, to build a house is not something so difficult. Here in Italy, if you say to someone to build a house, we are really afraid. But there is this, how they call it, Earthship in the UK. They teach you how to build a passive house. A passive house is a house that is not using any resources fed by any infrastructure. So the electricity is not coming from the grid. The water is not coming from an infrastructure taking the water there. So it's passive because it's independent. And they are teaching on how to design and how to build passive houses. Would be nice to try once. I'm from Finland, and my mother is from Finland, and my relatives there are actually building houses, so not passive, but not so far, but quite sustainable, let's say, and beautiful sauna. But this is another story. Where I was, yes, no, I did this. So I go to the next one. Favor and integrate weak and marginalized. Here I show you an example to involve and improve the condition for weaker social strata. In this case, elderly people. This is in Milano, Parco Nord. They are offering to retired people pieces of land with a very low price. They are not in their ownership. It's a PSS, but they can cultivate this. So actually, they are well motivated. This is good for them. It builds self-confidence, but at the same time, it helps to take care of given space, given land in Milan, in the surrounding of Milan. Let me see. And of course, they are cultivating, but they have to take care even of some common spaces and something like this. And it's an occasion even for them to be there to communicate and to be with other. It could be sometimes a problem for elderly people. Involve and improve the condition of marginalized person. We go on again in Finland. This is for unemployed people. Well, it's quite similar to the example that I showed you before, so I skipped this example. Develop system to extend the access to goods and services to all social strata. And here we have a couple of examples. Maybe I show you this. This is, we are in India, though the company that is providing this in partnership with the local association is Philip from the Netherlands, that is offering this van, which is kind of a mobile hospital with all the equipments there inside needed. And what I have trained some people, paramedical people, so they are not really very well educated to be, to deal with complex illness or something like this. But what they have actually, this is connected with a satellite to a hospital far away where very well knowledge doctor and professor are interacting with the local paramedical staff that are checking with some equipment, and so actually they can directly saying and interacting to give indication on how to cure people in that situation. And this makes it possible because of the long distance interconnection, so getting a very profound knowledge that is, in this case, far away still, even though we would like that this could be even their base, but this could be a first step to introduce then a solid knowledge even for a specialized doctor down there. Develop system of shared use and or exchange of goods and services to increase their accessibility, even for, again, for those people that may have less, a lower income. I show you an example. Here we go in South Africa. It's a toy library run by a lady. The name, I can't remember the name. Nevertheless, it's as a library. You're going there and you take some toys and you have the toys which is not in your ownership, and you use the toy per the period that you need, and then you return it back. And many times the toys, they last very little because the kids grows very fastly, and we are, if we look at our industrialized context, we are over, well, there are so many toys around that we don't know where to put them. So actually it's even would be good not just for people with a low income, but even for other situation, but that makes it definitely accessible to these people there, and makes it possible even to it's even equality because maybe you buy a toy and then you wait a while before buying the new one because you cannot spend so much money, and so maybe it's too small or too big. In this case, you can change anytime you want, so it's even a better service than another one in which you buy a product every day. But this is health for the environment. Um, you can do BlaBlaCar, of course, many person are using. Now this is very common. Before that there was sharing a trip, and even this is a way in which it give access to lower income people to mobility, and it reduce the environmental impact at the same time because more person are going on the same car. So to move 4 people, you don't use 4 car, but 1 car if the 4 people are on the same car, and so on. Another example that I don't know if you know time banking. You know what is time banking? Never heard? That is an interesting thing. It is a bank of time where actually what you don't put money into this bank, you put a time. You put a time of your work. You could be a dentist, so you do that, or you can be a professor like me, okay, I'm teaching, or you can be a painter of you're painting how you say houses, or you are a bricklayer or whatever, and okay, there is this association, and someone need a dentist, someone need to paint again the house. So appoint a person come, paid for 1 hour and a half. This 1 hour and a half goes in the bank of time. So he has 1 hour and a half to spend by the dentist, or by professor or whatever. So it's actually it's measured in terms of time. Any type of work has the same value independently from the type of work, which is sometimes is even, I mean, maybe you have studied a lot to do this, but many times the salary, the gap between the salary, it's really absurd. It's something that is out of the market. It's not really anything interesting, and this of course makes accessible to go to the dentist. At least in Italy, you don't have, you have to, you're not, this is not paid by the public system usually. So it's one of, it's very costly for many person. It could be a problem for poor people to go by the dentist, and this would be a good occasion. So I have some problem with the teeth, so I try to go to, if I'm a painter, to go to paint how many houses I need to be to to make what I need to my teeth, or vice versa, because of course the dentist is not able to pay the house. And okay, develop system which allow easier access to credit. You know, maybe the Nobel Prize Yunus in Bangladesh. Have you heard it? He invented the microcredit. Microcredit is is a credit for, they give very little loan to poor people to start their business. You know, for example, a carpenter may need to buy an electric saw or something, and he don't have the money. If he goes to the bank and he don't have the money, the normal bank would never give the money to buy this electric saw. So to start a business or a sewing machine for a tailor or whatever. So he invented this microcredit. So he's giving this little money, and so that these people can start the business. And the fact is that compared to the traditional bank system, this works much better. The amount of money that come back is up to 99%. That is not the case in normal banking, where it's much lower, that they have much more problems. So actually, in this, the banking system in this case is more safety for the banker, even though they are giving little loan, but they are refunding back money more than the big companies. Think about it, and this is spreading around. It's very interesting product service system. To see if I have some. This is UNOS that receive a Nobel Prize for this, and microcredit then diffuse worldwide, and he made even other activities linked to this. And there is even Ethic Bank, Banca Etica, at least in Italy. It's a bank in which you deposit your money, and you are sure that the money are used for to finance sustainable products. They are not used to finance, to buy weapons or other things. Well, weapons are ugly. Many banks are financing this, but could be weapons, could be other business, could be sustainable business. So if you invest here, you're sure that you are crediting someone that is going towards, building up an enterprise that is doing something good for sustainability. Let me go to improve social cohesion, to the last example. Okay, I show you, let me see. Yes, to promote system enabling social integration between generation. This is a nice abitare insieme. Here you see, this is based in Como, where even Politecnico has a location. And even some Erasmus students are coming here. They have to find a place to live. And what they decided is to organize so that retired people, maybe sometimes they are alone, they have spaces in houses, and they give with a low price a rent for students that at the same time give company to the person. Maybe they help to go to buy some stuff, and so they help integration between different generation. And maybe the elderly people is cooking nice food, not junk food, for the students, and so on. So it's a very nice and good compromise, abitare insieme. And you see that this is taking the retired people, I think, to some disc or some places, I don't know, something like this. Okay, let me move to the last one. So we are going to close. Let me see here. Oh yes, respect and enhance peculiar local cultural characteristic. Here is you can, if you want, you can adopt a sheep if you want. Are you interested in adopting a sheep in Abruzzo? And then you can have kids, but in a sheep. And so you pay something, and then all the produce of the sheep come to you, but you help the how is it called, the sheep who's taking care of the farmer, yes, to to take care, because some of those sheep, maybe they are very peculiar, they are going to disappear, because now we are only having one type of sheep, one type of cow, but they are maybe doing very nice cheeses and so on, and so these help to promote and preserve local. So if you want to adopt a sheep, be aware that you can do even that. um, Solidarity purchasing group, I already told something about it. Regenerate and enhance and use and dispose artifact. This is a cooperative that is made out of person that actually are coming. Some of those are coming out of jail, prison, and they offer to, if you want to move out from your house, they take away your. They don't rob. They take away all the furniture, and they transfer this furniture to another house, the new house where you are living, or if you are not interested anymore, they take to a shop where they resell this, and they are doing this with a very low price, but you help those to be reintegrated into the society. I've been using those person. They were really very friendly, and there were nice joke with them about the fact of what is going to happen with the system. But since they are there into the system, they are whatever, but not interested in taking away you some stuff. Let me see, maybe this is, yes, the last example. This is really the person from India definitely know this, is really a success, is a mule. You, friends from India, who? Ciao. You know, a mule. It, yes, it's a cooperative made. So it's a cooperative of very small producer of. They maybe some has one or two or three cows. They are producing milk, and it has become as the biggest producer of dairy products in all India. So it's really an enormous success, competing, with multinational of food and whatever. They are just small producers, so well organized, and they are really the strongest and winning on the market. And with this, which is a good hope for a sustainable society, I have concluded this lecture.